Okay, so for your bioinformatics tool for BLAST Part 2, instead of calling it BLAST Part 2, I just called it gene prediction through homology because you are going to use BLAST to do that. There are other programs that also use homology, but I thought, let me just show you more about BLAST because I told you that's one skill that you can say, I have used this looking to answer different questions. So I'd say let's go to BLAST Part 2, the gene prediction through homology. And if there's time left, we're finishing the BLAST Part 1 because the last part of that day 1 had to do with looking at frames of translation. But let me show you what you're doing today. So let's see, share screen. Okay, no. Here, okay. So you're going to bioinformatics tools, and here's the order. On this day here, I would give you a DNA sequence and I would ask you, what is this sample? And the example I gave you, it was a real life example, which is we got virus sequence and we don't know what is this virus. And then we take that sequence, we throw into BLAST, and we figure out what that organism is. Maybe you know which organism it came from. You isolated it from frog, and now you want to know, okay, I sequenced my gene. Are there other organisms that also have this sequence? So you're looking for orthologs. Or you're looking, is there a duplication of this gene? So frog has 2 versions of it. Then you're looking for paralogs. So on day 1, you're looking at what is this sequence, from which organism is this sequence? Maybe what does it do? And does it have any homologs? And then I went into the gene prediction, but using ab initio, which was from the beginning. You guys used one program, that fGenes-H, and you also used this one just to look at how the computer can do the translation for you, so you don't have to do the 6 frames of translation by hand. Computer does it for you. And then today you are using BLAST to see, okay, I have some DNA sequence and I know which organism came from, but I don't know if there's any gene that is encoded in the DNA sequence. So here I'm reminding you that the genes are DNA sequences that are transcribed. That's like the shortest way of explaining what a gene is. And I hope you remember that because I'll ask that. No, in your words, what is a gene? And it will be some version of what this is saying here. And I'll give you some sequence that might be a genomic sequence. And I will ask you, are there genes in this genomic sequence? Try to figure out using a homology-based approach. What I'm saying is do BLAST to see if there are genes here or not. So I give you a genomic sequence and I want you to know, are there genes in that genomic sequence, or all I gave you is just some DNA sequence that does not get transcribed. All right, so when you're doing the exercise, this exercise is also meant to tell you about gene expression. So gene expression, because I got rid of some of the lectures on gene expression, then I thought I'm going to encompass it in this exercise. And when a gene is expressed, then you see in the phenotype the result of that gene expression. There will be more on that later. But for now, what I want you to know is gene expression is, you have to have, well, 2 of these processes. Let me give you some clues here for you to be able to see the result of the DNA sequence on the phenotype. And in here, there are different choices. And what do you think would be databases that would show you that a given DNA sequence is or is not expressed? and then the actual running tools starts in question 3. I made videos last night and I posted them in here. It was like 2 in the morning by the time I finished that, but here they are for you. And I'm here to, in case you want to ask questions, I'm just to be here answering questions you might have. Let's see. Yes, we will go back to BLAST day 1, but I think that you can start the BLAST day 2 because I made it shorter on purpose so that you have time to go back to BLAST day 1. I think you can do in whichever order you think is best, but I'm going to just be here to answer questions you might have about either one of those 2 days.